Hey, welcome to Backyard Bows. I'm Brandon, and today we are going to talk about my personal favorite release that I've ever put my hands on. This is my go-to release. I've shot it thousands of times. I use it in the field every year for the past, I think, 4 or 5 years. I absolutely love this thing. And it seems to be a common question in the comments from you guys, what release are you using? And I think that is because most people know Spot Hogg for their sights. They make a fantastic sight. Some of the best in the business, I would say, but they also have a couple releases out there that I think are just some of my favorite. I did a little release on a very inexpensive thumb release from them. It was a 4-finger, 1-piece thumb release. It's something that I keep in the shop. Absolutely love that thing. And then this is my go-to for almost everything, daily reps, hunting. You can't beat it. So we got the Spot Hogg Wise Guide. There's 3 versions of this, and we'll talk about the little bit of variety in each of them and some of the pros and cons from each as well. But it's a very simple mechanism, very solid. I always say it feels like an extension of my arm when I have this thing on. It's just one of the most comfortable releases that you can put your hands on. All 3 versions are, but I think the BOA strap is probably the most comfortable. They have this rigid body, okay? And the reason they call it the rigid body is because the part where you adjust the length, if you undo that screw, it has these little grooves that allows you to kind of extend the length of that release and get it perfect fit for you. Once it's locked back down, it's probably the most solid release you can get, okay? I absolutely love that part. The whole thing together, once you set it in place, extremely solid. The actual BOA strap is my favorite. It's the most comfortable. I think there is a couple, there is a benefit from having the leather strap. I think you can get it more consistent with the length. You can choose a hole, you can adjust the body, and then if you put it back in that hole, unless the thing stretches, which they don't, you're gonna get a lot of consistency out of that length, where this, if you tighten it or loosen it one time, that might make it vary a little bit. I've done this so many times. I give it my 5 twist, and it fits me perfect like a glove, okay? And this one's kind of molded to my wrist. I've shot it so many times. And then you just pop it back out like any other BOA strap. It undoes. It's super easy to get on and off. I feel like it's very convenient and nice. If you're shooting a lot of reps in your day, I feel like that's really nice too. I've also shot thousands of reps through this thing, and the nylon part in the inside is also very still intact. The leather part on the outside has a little bit of wear and tear, but still intact. A little bit of, again, common natural wear and tear on the actual release, but this thing has been used and abused, and it still works like it does yesterday, okay? So you have the rigid body with a BOA strap and a leather strap. I think the only other, I'd like to say, con for the BOA strap is, you get in your stand, you look down, there's a big old fat doe, and they're gonna be like, So I have been in the stand, I look around, I'm like, ooh, there's one right there, and then, I'm like, every step they're taking. Okay, so it's kind of loud. So you want to get in, you want to get it tightened down and ready. And if you do, and you still got a couple things to do, and you feel like it's in the way, it has the ability to fold down. I tuck it into my sleeve and get it out of the way so it's not tinking on any of my stand. But I love that option. All 3 options have that, the ability to kind of rotate down and get out of your way if you need to do something. And then you have a nylon body, and that's a nylon piece that connects the release to the wrist strap. And what I have heard is that nylon piece is really going to help take away torque on that string if you're shooting in a very unorthodox way. So most of my shots, I know they're set shots. I know exactly what shots I'm taking. I have my lanes lined up. My feet are going to be in exact spot. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I kind of map out everything in my head before I get into my stand. So I'm anticipating certain shots. So this one works just fine for me. If you're somebody on a mountainside or in an area that you're unfamiliar with, and you're going to be taking really different uncomfortable shots, maybe even during turkey season out of a blind, that nylon strap is going to help you take torque off of your string. Okay, so I think that's the benefit of that, and that comes in a leather option as well. So you get your 3 different options. This one to me is my favorite. Comfortability wise, most comfortable. I love the BOA strap. This thing to me fits like a glove. Probably my favorite of all time at the moment. Okay, so moving up, you got your adjustment, and then when you get to the actual release, I love that on an index finger release, you can adjust the tension. I think that's the biggest variety between hunters, is the amount of pressure we like on that release. And again, it varies from hunter to hunter to hunter to hunter. So to be able to adjust that and adjust it a nice amount, I love that. So there's a little screw right under that trigger. You can adjust it right and adjust it left. That's gonna take your tension either greater or less, depending on if you like it really sensitive or have to apply a little bit of pressure. The other thing, the grooved trigger and the hook is my favorite combo. Okay, this is my favorite part about the whole release. I love the hook. Most hooks you see that are actually bent like a hook, this one is more of a, it's kind of a backboard. It's kind of just a slanted down angle. It's an open face, so they're all coming with this open face hook. The release of this is so crisp to me, and I think that's the reason. Okay, it's not a full hook, it's not a half hook, it's kind of a backboard with a downward slang angle that gets popped up. But that, to me, I feel like is the reason why this thing is so smooth. I also love the curvature to the trigger. So the combo of this, and you've seen me shoot it in almost every single bow review that we've done, that combo to me with my open hand and the style I like to shoot my release with seems to work the best for me. I absolutely love it. It feels so comfortable. And again, it's crisp and clean every single time, and we're 10,000 shots in, let's say, and it still performs just like it did the first day. So if you have not yet, or if you've seen one of my videos and wondered, Spot Hogg Wise Guy, I think these are some of the best price releases around. BOA straps, maybe $160, leather straps, $124, but right there over $100. If you've seen my Basic Bowman 1 video, this is up there when or 2, when you're looking for your accessories to buy for your first bow. I say that the release is number 1 or number 2 on my most important list of things to buy besides the bow. It's gonna really play a factor in the consistency of your shots. I think the comfortability of your release, everything that has to do with your release, you want to make a nice investment from the beginning and get something that you think you're going to shoot with your bow just as many times equally. Okay, they go hand in hand. But I think your release is one of the most important pieces of the puzzle. Don't short the release. This is something I always say. If you're gonna go buy a very, very cheap release, it's just like that cheap bow sight in a ready to hunt package. You're gonna find yourself back in there purchasing something else. Whether you go with a wrist release or a thumb release, I honestly don't really care what it is. At this point, that's preference as well. It depends on how you like to hold your bow, the angle at which you hold your hand. Again, that's pure preference. Whatever you go with, make a nice little investment. I think these are the best bang for your buck. If you're looking for an ROI product, this is it. You are gonna get your return on investment, $160. 5 years later, I will shoot that thing until it falls off my arm. If you're interested, hit one of those links below and check them out yourself. We'll see you next time.